Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. As the last rays of the setting sun go over the hills of beautiful Pasadena, California, for this evening's tilt between the Blair Vikings and the Monrovia Wildcats. I'm Flint Fertig and John Russell here tonight with you for this league matchup.
We're coming in undefeated into league, and Flint, they all play the games no matter what. You got to play them. Even though on paper it looks like this is going to be a blowout, you still got to play the game. This is where that out-of-league schedule comes in so crucially for Coach Ryan Maddox's team. They've been prepared. They've played the tough games outside of they've been playing the tough games outside of league just to deal with these weeks when they're going to get to clear the benches, Flint. And you know, we're here at John Muir High School. It's not going to be pretty tonight, folks. Your Monrovia Wildcats will probably pummel the Vikings from Blair pretty soundly, but it'll give you a chance to get to see some of the future starters for this team, next year's team.
Well, you never know, John. You never know. I guess Colorado fans are probably saying the same thing this year when they went into Sacramento State and got their heads handed to them. So as we watch this game today, we'll have to see. But truly, absolutely, Monrovia is going to be a monster favorite here and should handle the Vikings. But we got to watch the techniques here. Great chance for Coach Maddox to get some kids some game experience, work on some stuff as he prepares for the rest of the year. But before we do that, can't get ahead of ourselves. Monrovia's got to get up early, get that lead, and be ready to do it.
We will give you the starting lineups shortly. The Vikings will be receiving the ball first. Mason Bryant will be kicking off. We're getting ready to get started. It's Thursday night edition of football.
Doesn't have quite the same feel as a Friday night, but it's high school football is always good any night of the week. A little less probably than we normally would have in the crowd. I think we got 31 over there at Blair, we counted. And Monrovia is usually very well represented. Got a few hundred people who made the trip. Grateful to them. Bryant boots it, and as usual, rolls in the end zone for touchback.
Starting for the defense tonight in a 4-3 defense. Defensive end Kevin Bailey. Defensive tackle Stephen Golar and Avante Moore. George Frazier is the other end. Linebackers are David Gallegos, Brett Walsh, and Javontre Ainsworth. Your secondary is Darius McClain and Anthony Kraft at the corners. The safeties are Deshaun Potts and Jeremy Haney.
Word was Deshaun Potts may get some looks on offense at the quarterback position as well.
He will be starting as quarterback. They are going to be sitting Blake down tonight.
Starting from their own 20-yard line. Quarterback takes a snap. There's a little bit of a rumble in the backfield there, and Monrovia knocks that back for about a 5-yard loss.
Yep, pre-game jitters for Blair. The exchange didn't go so well, and that enabled Avante Moore and Rafael Garcia to come up the middle and blow that play up in the backfield for a loss of 3. It's going to bring up second down.
Clock's rolling now, 11:36. Second and about 13-14 to go. Blair heads up to talk about it. The Vikings approach the line of scrimmage.
I apologize. I said Garcia. He is out with an injury, so that was Stephen Golar that got the tackle for loss there.
And snap. And looks like another loss on that play. Same kind of play right up the middle, and the Wildcats are there to stuff it. Going to bring up third and probably about 15.
Avante Moore in on that. And it becomes a lot easier to tackle when you're in the backfield because there's the handoff is not going well for the offensive team. And already it looks like there's been wholesale changes. And we'll get you those names as quickly as possible. We might not be able to get them third down. Oh, there was a fumble on the play.
I did not catch that, Sean. Looks like there was a fumble, and that was why the wholesale changes.
The defense.
I did not see a signal for a fumble. I didn't see that the ball was loose. I noticed that there was a little scrum in the backfield there. Either way, the Wildcats hand off in their first play, and it's going to bring up 2nd and 7.
Potts on the keeper for 4 yards. One of the things that's going to be interesting this year, that they've been running the Wildcat with Deshaun Potts. And the first play they ran, it was a 49-yard touchdown. So it's something on film that everybody in Rio Hondo League and the CIF playoffs are going to have to honor, and giving Deshaun reps this game is going to help that immensely.
Potts under center, takes a snap, rolls back, looking for a man in the end zone, and just overthrows it by about a foot.
Yeah, he's looking for George Frazier there in the flats, and just a little adrenalized in that first pass of the game. Just put a little bit too much mustard on that.
Looked like Frazier had a step. That stops the clock at 10:21. Brings up third down and 6 yards to go. Wildcats talking about it in the huddle. Now coming to the line of scrimmage. Potts out of the shotgun, takes a snap. It's a keeper. There's that speed you talked about, John, as he's trying to turn the corner, and he's going to walk into the end zone for the first touchdown of the game.
So there's that Wildcat. He fakes to the man in motion, and he's in with a 14-yard scamper for touchdown. Third play of the game. Monrovia up 6-0. 3-play drive, 18 yards. Gallegos will be doing the snapping, Darius McLean the holding, and Mason Bryant the kicking.
Bryant's kick is up. Did that get over? It did.
Just barely snuck over.
So 7-0 lead for the Wildcats, John. That's pretty much as we expected. Though the fumble did catch me off guard. I didn't see it. Got to be honest.
Yeah, nor did I. I'm going to say that Avante Moore recovered that fumble. Seeing that he was the closest to it.
You brought him back on, huh?
Yeah, we got the band together. Put the band back together.
Okay, good.
The ever-present Byron Gear coming in. He's going to start spotting for me. He's going to see how high Byron can count by sevens. Bryant set to kick.
10-13 left to play here in the first quarter. And Bryant puts the boot in. It's a line drive. Going to take a bounce, another bounce. Fielded at about the 7-yard line with the Bear player. He tries to turn upfield and does get the corner and is pushed out of bounds somewhere right along the 25, 26-yard line.
We'll see if Blair can try to handle the handoff exchange. They were struggling in their first two plays, and obviously after the first play it led to a fumble. On the second play.
A little better field position now from the 25, 26-yard line. Quarterback under center takes a snap. And again, a really ugly exchange, John. That's the third ugly exchange in the backfield that's gone for a loss or a turnover by Blair. Pushes them back. Looks like at least 3 yards there.
And talking to the coaches, when they played San Marino, they were running out of the shotgun and had 5 snaps go over the quarterback's head. And eventually that's on the coach. You just got to stop snapping the ball from the shotgun position. So I guess they're under center and have not been able to sort of figure their way in the backfield. And that's the third play in a row where the quarterback has run into the running back. So hopefully Blair gets this sorted out on this play.
Absolutely. Quarterback under center again, not wanting to mess up that exchange. Takes a snap. There's a pitch, and that's going to go for another loss, John.
Like a lob in tennis.
Yeah, 3 straight running plays for a loss.
Yeah, Frazier just came off his edge, just ran up the field and completely disrupted that play. So
it's going to be third down and very long, about 17.
Every tackle tonight, a tackle for loss.
The one that was a fumble recovery in the backfield. Might have got that one back to the line of scrimmage.
wall of white jerseys in on that one. At the bottom of it looked like Brett Walsh.
Clock continues to run, folks. 8:25. A lot of running plays will do that. Take the time off the clock, and Blair's going to huddle up here. It's going to be a 4th and 17.
Jacob Bueno back to receive this kick, standing at midfield. It looks like the Cats are coming after this.
They don't get it. Punts it up, and Bueno receives it, but he drops the ball, and Blair falls on it. Oh, bad decision by Bueno there. Jacob Bueno did touch the ball. Blair fell on it. Looks like they're going to be getting possession up at the 43-yard line.
Yeah, that's something you see often in high school football games. These punters are not kicking as far, and when you haven't been out on the field, sort of judge the distance as to how far they're going. Sometimes discretion's a better part of valor. You just let that one hit the ground and live to fight another day.
Blair will take control. 43-yard line, by far their best field position of the game. And there's another pitch in the backfield. Again, met in the backfield, and again, running play for a loss, John. You see a pattern developing here.
Stephen Golar in the tackle for loss. Loss of 2.
Stephen Golar's been in the backfield on a couple of stops here. Wildcats still playing very aggressively early in the game. Bring up 2nd and 13. Same formation for Blair. Quarterback's under center.
Offset eye. Pitch goes to the left. And then runner runs right into the pile.
Looks like another run for a loss, this time only by about a yard.
Walsh in there to lead the charge.
Every play turns into a rugby scrum.
It is looking a little bit like rugby. A loss of 1 on that play.
Third and 15. Oh, quarterback stumbles in the field. Did it come loose, John, or is he able to hold on?
They're saying he's down. They ruled him down.
Okay, ruled him down.
That's a good call. His knee was down. He tripped over a lineman who was pulling. The guard was pulling on that, and it looked like he stepped on the quarterback's shoe, so the quarterback never even got a chance to hand the ball off. So it's a team loss on that one. Loss of 4 yards. Going to bring up 4th and 18.
4th and 18. Again, Blair will punt. So far, that's been their best offensive play.
Looks like Bueno's not
They were going
returning.
for it.
It's number 34 on the return. Oh, nice stick. And then
he was popped, but he was not brought down. Still going and finally thrown to the ground, and that's a nice return all the way down to the 31-yard line.
That's Darian Huff, the junior, doing a nifty bit of running there, taking a good lick at midfield and keeping his chin strap buckled and picking up another 8 yards after the contact. So that was a good tackle by the Blair Vikings. But one of the things that you're seeing in college, and I don't know what high school coaches are doing to address it, but a lot of players are just not wrapping up. They're throwing their shoulder pads into a player, and they're not wrapping up, and you see it leads to some really sloppy tackling at the next level. Like with my Texas Longhorns, they just cannot seem to wrap up.
I didn't want to say it, but I did notice that last week as well. But
Which
it's not just
touchdown? The
your Longhorns.
95-yard touchdown run, or
I had a few missed tackles on it.
Javontre
Jones, he's on the corner. He stiff arms him, still going down the sideline. Finally pushed out of bounds about the 12-yard line.
Yeah, the Wildcat again. The Wildcats are not going to be putting the ball up. Ainsworth does a good job of getting the edge and steps out of bounds at the 14 to gain 18 yards.
Nice stiff arm as he turned the corner there. 5:14 left to play here. Brings up 1st and 10 from about the 14-yard line.
I need to give you the offensive lineup. Hopefully before they get in the end zone, I will. Before it changes, too.
Clock to 4:50. Potts takes a snap. He's got a man in the end zone. It was Bryant. Looks like he's in for the touchdown. Touchdown Wildcats. Nice throw by Potts. Good reception by Bryant. Wide open in the corner.
All right, third drive, I'll give you that starting lineup if they're still in. Goodness. Yeah, that was just a stutter stepping up, and Potts put the ball right on the money, and Bryant doing a great job of hauling it in, keeping his feet, but got 2 down right at the edge of the end zone. Now Bryant ended to kick the extra point. This one's a little higher than the other
little higher,
one.
and it's through. That's going to make the score 14-0 Monrovia. John, so far pretty much according to script.
Yeah, very short fields for the Wildcats in both their drives. The first one was an 18-yard field, and the second one was about 32 yards. It's a lot easier to score quickly when you're deep in the other team's territory.
That makes it a little bit easier.
So San Marino dropped 80-plus onto Blair, and talking to the coaches, they didn't think that was very sportsmanlike. I don't mind me saying that.
Well,
I don't know if they mind me saying that, but
didn't we do that a couple years ago ourselves?
I don't know about on Blair. I think
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever dropped 80.
Well, 80's tough, and you never want to see these kids. You can't forget these are high school kids, and you got to give props to some of the Blair kids for coming out here and fighting hard. Definitely a struggling time in their sports program, at least football-wise for sure as we've watched them. Bryant kicks this one off, and it's going to be taken and fumbled at the 10-yard line, picked back up, and going forward for about 2 more yards, stopped around the 15-yard line.
Looks like number 27 at the bottom of that pile. No, 42. Kevin Bailey, who's really had a great special teams efforts. He's just done an amazing job in special teams this season. Kevin is always down there right around the ball, nose for the ball. Timeout on the field with an injured player.
There is an injured player. He is now sitting up.
Let's remind you that the first weekend in November against Temple City, that is homecoming, folks. Come out and support your Wildcats. More importantly, next week, it's going to be the game that's going to be for the division. San Marino undefeated, Monrovia undefeated in league. The winner of that game will definitely have the upper hand in getting to the league championship.
Yeah, shape it up to be a very big game. And, of course, San Marino, usually competitive, but this year they do seem to have a little something extra, John. What do you think?
Well, honestly, I think they've had a soft out-of-league schedule, and that's why they're undefeated. And I think they're pretty full of themselves, but a lot of times you can, win a lot of games, and that breeds confidence, and you can come into this game and say, you know what, we can play with these guys. We haven't lost all year. Winning breeds winning. And, Monrovia's lost a couple of heartbreakers, but the teams they've lost to are Division II teams. Ayala and South Hills, I think, would just run all over San Marino. That's just me. I just think San Marino's out-of-league schedule has been a little soft.
And, of course, Coach Maddox does schedule those tough games so that when league does come, the team's prepared, as you mentioned earlier. Blair back now at their own 15-yard line. Quarterback under center takes a snap. The give, and again met in the backfield. March backwards. Looks like another running play for a loss.
Brett Walsh in there to blow that up. Just seems like the defense is just going to tee off. I don't think Blair's going to risk throwing the football.
Doesn't seem like they've got that in their arsenal right now. And first quarter's down to 4:14.
Thankfully, the clock is running. Once it gets to 35-0, I'm sure the Blair coaches will be content with letting the clock run no matter what.
Back under center, takes a snap again. Again a pitch to the backfield. Again met in the backfield and lost. That pitch seems to be losing them yardage. If they can't get better turn in the corner, seems like they would hand off closer to the line of scrimmage, John.
Well, they're just going into the teeth of the defense there. You can't outrun Kevin Bailey in on that. You're not going to outrun Kevin Bailey. He's got great nose for the football, and they can't seem to get anything going up front. It's just
clock ticking down now. Close to 3 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. Blair third and about 16. Now from their own 8-yard line. Quarterback under center takes a snap. He's a keeper, and he's met in the backfield, and another running play for a loss.
Brett Walsh again, the first one to sniff that out. Walsh with his fourth tackle of the game. And here comes the punt squad.
We'll be kicking it from our own end zone this time. That could get exciting. I think the Wildcats go for it this early in the game. They do seem to be lined up strong on the left side.
Darian Huff back to receive. We'll see that they look like they're coming.
And they're bringing them.
Yeah.
And they almost got it.
I think it got tipped.
Huff picks it up right around the 38, decides better, and lets it roll to the 32. Not a bad play by Huff to let that one roll.
All right, let's give you your offensive lineup. I apologize for doing this on the third drive, folks, but c'est la vie. Left tackle, Isaac Miravet. Left guard, Will Thorne. Centers, Eric Brooks. Right guard, Josh Crusher Cano. And right tackle, Matt Norman. Your quarterback tonight, as we mentioned earlier, Blake is getting the night off. Deshaun Potts coming out and playing quarterback. Javontre Ainsworth is running back. Your receivers are Mason Bryant, Anthony Kraft, Octavia Spencer, sophomore, who's getting some PT. It's good to see. And Jacob Bueno will be out here when they're in the spread. You can see right now you got Kraft and Bueno in the slot to Deshaun's left. Bryant wide left, Kraft wide right.
Potts to the shotgun, takes a snap, and the running back is met in the backfield, and the ball goes back to Potts, who turns the corner and runs it in for his second rushing touchdown of the night.
32-yard scamper. That zone read, the quarterback's job is to put the ball in the belly of the running back and then read the defensive end. And he and Javontre had their own little exchange issues. Wasn't sure which one was going to get it. And it looked like Potts said, well, I'll take this one. He fought off the tackler, and once he was around the edge, there's nothing but daylight. Deshaun, 3 carries for 46 yards and 2 touchdowns on the night.
Extra point by Brian is up. Man,
he's kicking low tonight.
One, but it's good.
Yeah, not getting much height at all. All of them are very low. So.
Well, with 1:58 to play in the first quarter, 21-0 Wildcats.
So Mason has been struggling with a groin injury. I don't know if that's affecting his ability to get some height on his kicks, but normally they don't go so low. But he seems to be 100%. I've asked coaches, it's hard to get in and talk to Mason. It's hard to get, sort of a percentage as to where he is, but. This is his 4th kick of the night. Only one has gotten into the end zone, so I don't know if the injury is affecting him or not.
He gets a lot of foot into that one.
There you go.
Bounces out of the back of the end zone.
So his 4th kick of the night results in a touchback.
And with 1:58 left to play in the first quarter, Blair will take over at their own 20 with their 4th drive of the game. And yet to have a play for positive yardage, John.
Yeah, your heart just goes out to him. There's been a lot of talk as to how to deal with this. If Monrovia were to go 3 straight, obviously they have not lost a league game under Ryan Maddox in 5 years.
I don't see that changing anytime soon.
So the talk is, well, you move them to a new league, you move them up a division, and if they win their third straight CIF championship, do they go up?
Again, another faulty exchange in the backfield. Looks like the
Ball's
ball's
on the
loose.
ground.
And Monrovia picks it up and advances the ball to the 10.
Javontre Ainsworth, Johnny on the spot.
You know, one thing that's kind of classy, if you notice, the Wildcat players, they're not over-celebrating. They're not, they act like they've been there and done this before. Very workmanlike effort tonight. And I think also showing a bit of class as they play a team like Blair that is struggling. That shows good coaching and also the character of the kids here in this community. 44 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. Potts out of the shotgun. Takes a snap.
Hands the ball to Ainsworth.
Ainsworth fighting, still fighting. Leans over. Looks like he may have got it. Touchdown, Wildcats. Fourth touchdown of this quarter as the seconds tick down to 24.
Second one-play drive of the night.
Well, you talked about the Wildcats not wanting to hang 80 on these guys. They're on a pace to hang 100.
Well, pretty soon the clock's going to start running. I imagine during the second quarter they'll run it, and I think you're going to see the benches empty pretty quick for Coach Maddox.
Mason Bryant on to tip his fourth extra point of the game.
We'll pick up that conversation. You can't really move Monrovia out of the Rio Hondo League because they don't dominate in all the other sports. And
That's
it's hard.
true. It's a football only at this point. Extra point is good.
I mean, a testament, obviously, to the coaching staff. Ryan Maddox and his staff, Craig Schuster, the defensive coordinator, and all the coaches do such an amazing job with this program.
You know what they call that? The Boise State syndrome. Boise State has one phenomenal program, as you're aware, with football, and yet the rest of their athletics are very, very much almost Division II level. And it poses some problems. It is very difficult.
I mean, if you were to move them into a higher division, move them out of the Mid-Valley or put them in a more difficult league, I mean, if you put them in Arcadia's league, move them up into Division IX, then all the other sports are going to really suffer.
Yeah, for sure. And look at the size of some of the schools in Division IX, too. Arcadia's got almost 3,000 students. Of course, Monrovia, a school of about 1,700, 1,800. 1,900 now. And Bryant kicks off again. Another long, deep, high one, and they're going to let it bounce into the end zone. And Blair will take over again at their own 20. And 24 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. Let's see if Blair can get out of the first quarter without surrendering another touchdown. That's not as easy as it may sound with 24 seconds left.
2 fumbles lost. It's tough night for the Vikings of Blair. First and 10 from their own 20.
I mean, you know, you want to win, but you don't want to.
And that looked like it was almost a forward running play, but it was met in the backfield. Probably a loss of about a yard. The ball's free, but the referees are calling that down. Clock continues to run, and they're going to get out of the first quarter. But the ball did come free, and it almost could have been the 5th touchdown of the quarter.
Haney in on the tackle there. Devontae Moore trying to strip that. So first quarter does come to an end.
It's going to bring up second and about 11 from the 19-yard line.
No, they show that as no gain.
Okay, got it.
First play of the night that hasn't been a loss. Let's give them credit for that.
I think the refs helped them on that, to be honest. They met him in the backfield.
Quarter ends to score 28-0, and just furthering that conversation. So one of the things that we have heard, I haven't talked to athletic director Randy Bell about this, but one of the rumors that have been out there, and I don't know if it's on the blogs or where you hear it, but is that they're going to move Blair out of the league and then bring somebody in that's a little more competitive. So that would be one way to sort of address it. But if Monrovia, and it's if, they've got to not play entitled. They have tremendous senior leadership, but they can't play entitled. They have to come out and show that killer instinct and take care of business. and not throw their helmets out there and think that people are going to roll over. But if they do get to the CIF championship, that would be their 4th straight appearance in the CIF championship.
They should have won all 4.
They should have won all 4.
They lost the water polo bowl, but other than that, they had a good run.
Amazing.
Not really.
No. Good crowd tonight on hand.
Yep.
If not attentive, if not bright. You gotta love the old what police line do not cross. I'm just walking right through that.
John's talking about a fan who just walked through our camera angle here and us, probably unaware that the broadcast was going on.
That 2nd and 10 leads to another tackle for loss.
11:42 left to play here. Now in the second quarter, 28-0 Wildcats.
Loss of 4 on that one.
That's 2nd and 14 it is. And again, Blair continues to march backwards. I'm going to stick to they haven't had a positive gain yet.
Well, the last play they didn't lose any yards, so let's be positive there.
I think they lost a yard and the ref was kind, but if you say so.
Wow,
It was the
piling
best play.
on.
And again, met in the backfield. This time they might have got a yard. Fights forward and brought down by that strong defensive line again.
Looks like Golar's at the bottom of that pile. No, George Frazier.
Yep, Frazier, Golar, and Walsh. Making sure nothing's getting through that. All 3 of them been in the backfield all day, pushing themselves around and taking care of business.
Brings up 4th down, and Darian Huff again to return this punt. You wonder if you put Bueno back in and try to give him some confidence, but looks like the coaches are going to go with Huff tonight.
Stands at the 45-yard line. The kick is up, and it is
blocked,
but still bounces all the way. It's right where Huff was standing, exactly, 45-yard line.
A break for the Vikings.
So 10-17 left to play here in the second quarter. And that's where Monrovia Wildcats will take over.
Again, homecoming, November 2nd is the dance. November 3rd is the dance, and November 2nd is the game. Come out and support your Wildcats. Homecoming against Temple City.
Potts under center. Takes a snap. Real quick throw to the flat. It's caught there by Bueno. Bueno turns the corner, and nobody's going to catch him, John. Touchdown, Wildcats. Sean Potts is going to have some good stats. He's ran for 2 and thrown for 2.
He has. He's only thrown 3. So now you got to ask yourself, did they run the clock at 35-0?
Yeah, I think technically that's the unwritten rule that should occur. And for the sake of Blair, I think at this point in time that they should.
One more point. Hope he makes it.
Yeah. We got to make sure Mason gets his kick up and over, and he's been kicking low.
They went for it, and he gets it up and over. The ever-consistent Mason Bryant. And that makes it 35-0 with 9:18 to play in the second quarter.
So now the question is, are they going to roll the clock? I don't see anybody talking to the coach. It's a tough thing. It's a tough position to be in when you're the coach and you don't want to wave the white flag. You want your players to continue to fight, but 35-0, 1 and 2 play. That's the third one-play drive of the night. It's just not fair, and you think, why wait till the second half? Let's just start running it now. We'll keep an eye on the clock. It's 9:18 left to go in the first half, but challenge for the coaches is keeping everybody focused, keeping everybody in the game, not thinking that this has anything to do with where they need to be.
Bryant kicks off again and fumbled at the back of the end zone, picked up there, and he's running it out, and he's got a little bit of yardage there, and looks like probably picked up 6 or 7 yards.
And the clock is running. Hallelujah. So the broadcast might not be as long as normal, folks. Pay attention. Clock is running, 8:47 left to go. So from here on out, we'll just keep running it. Which is what happened last week.
Looks like another running play for a loss, John.
Yeah, they're going to end up in the end zone at this rate.
It started to look like about the 8-yard line there. Scoreboard says 9, but I think they're sitting somewhere around the 7 now. Unless the refs are being generous. And
only a loss of 1 on that play. Of course, last week, Wildcats were up 49-0, and referees let La Cañada, no, was it La Cañada?
Yeah.
Let La Cañada call a timeout to kick a 42-yard field goal to get the goose egg off the scoreboard.
Good for them.
So it's 49-3. So it seemed kind of ridiculous, but you know, it gives you something to build on. It gave La Cañada something to build on.
Scoreboard still says 1st and 10, John. I'm not sure.
It looked like got to the line of scrimmage on that one, so it brings up 3rd and 11.
3rd and 11, there it is. They make the change. 7:08 left to play here in the half. Looks like another running play out of the backfield.
Yeah,
no, actually a throw, and it's intercepted. And with that pick being run back still, all the way into the end zone. Touchdown Wildcats.
Number 27 is Anthony Marquez.
You know, when Marquez caught that, you could see that he had nothing but intentions of getting into the end zone, and it didn't look like there was much in the way there.
Yeah, so the first pass play for the Blair Vikings goes disastrously wrong. You'd think you want to do something to try to keep that defensive front honest, but that's not really the answer.
Go with it?
41-0. Clock stopped at 6:51. They do stop for after the scores.
Extra point up and good by Bryant. And that looked more like Mason Bryant's form. Got that one high and straight through the uprights. Bringing the score to 42-0, and the clock does roll, but now it does seem to be stopped at 6:51.
It's like Nakarati is going to be taking over kicking duties. Number 32 is Lucas Nakarati. He kicked 2 weeks ago when Mason was nursing that groin injury and did a admirable job in Mason's absence. Unfortunately, he is a senior, so you don't have him next year. That is a big question. You can talk about the rebuilding that this team is going to have to do. It's so loaded with seniors that have been there. You had Brett Walsh, who started as a sophomore.
Yeah.
George Frazier, who started as a sophomore. Mason Bryant, who started as a sophomore. Anthony Kraft, who's tons of playing time. I mean, this senior team is so.
And Bryant's kickoff is.
No, it's Nakarati.
To the end zone. That was Nakarati. Nice kick.
So Nakarati getting his job done.
And the clock's running now at 6:45.
Okay, folks, so it looks like the second unit we thought they might be coming in at halftime. They're coming in now. So we'll get you some names and numbers here shortly. See big number 73 right there. It's Alec Iklasoy.
With the snap, Ickasoy gets some penetration. And that looked like a play for maybe positive yardage on that one. A little running play to the left.
Alejandro Vega, number 15, out there on that tackle, along with number 24. Alex Duran is in the ball game. You're going to see Ryan Chang in at tackle.
Yeah, positive yardage on that one, John. First one of the game. So it brings up 2nd and 9 for Blair. 5:40 left to play here in the half. Clock is running.
Cornerbacks will be Alex Duran, number 24, and number 9, Craig Gillespie. Anthony Marquez will see some playing time at free safety, number 27, and Darian Huff. You got a freshman and a sophomore out there in your safety spots.
Blair's quarterback now under center. Takes a snap. Rolls out, looking to throw it. He's met in the backfield and escapes, but is dropped for what looks to be about a 2-yard loss.
Looked like Darian Huff in the backfield there, doing a good job of coming up and forcing the issue. The quarterback was able to make the first player miss. Also on the line, you're going to see Logan Craig. I'm sorry, linebacker, you'll see Logan Craig and Daniel Sprain. Number 33, Daniel Sprain. Alejandro Vega and Chang, like I said, were Ryan Chang and Alejandro Vega on the line. Vega looks like he's in the tackle position.
4:29 left. Quarterback takes a snap. Looks like the fullback rumbles forward for about a 5-yard gain. Best offensive play of the game for Blair.
He's a big boy, number 65. Their fullback.
He's letting a few guys know about his play there.
I'm hoping Blair's not going for this.
Well, that was their best offensive play of the game so far. Brings up 4th and 5 as the clock ticks down to 3 minutes and 50 seconds. They could be trying to get something. Be nice for them to get on the scoreboard, probably, and maybe trying. Does look like they are going to kick this one away. Punter takes a snap.
Lefty.
And left-footed. Fielded at the 50-yard line. And a couple people miss, and he's headed to the sideline. And trying to turn it, still on his feet, all the way down the sideline. Touchdown, Wildcats.
Darian Huff with the 50-yard return for touchdown.
Huff showed some nice moves on that. And that's going to, the extra point here, could be scored 49-0. Thought you said earlier Monrovia didn't want to hang 80 on these guys, John. Sometimes
it's kind of hard to tell Darian Huff to take a knee.
I think you owe the coaching staff and administration over at San Marino an apology.
Not happening.
They may have tried just as hard as we're.
Nakarate with a nice kick.
Nice kick. Extra point's good. 49-0 Wildcats.
Might be 112 to nothing at the pace that we're on.
Yeah, it's about right. Did the scoreboards even go to 3 figures? I don't think they do. Might be time to turn that off anyway here.
Why don't they just run the clock during this time,
too? I
Why
don't
not?
understand that, John. I was just thinking the same thing. I do.
Why stop it now? Let's just.
When we played Blair 2 years ago, they did run it consistently.
Maybe they will in the second half. I don't know.
So maybe that's why Blair was thinking about going for it on 4th and 5 when, hey, the kicks are just coming back for touchdowns too. At least you're making them run an offensive play to get the touchdown.
Band's in good form tonight. Stephanie Cox leading the band.
Nice kick. Fielded at the 1-yard line, and Blair's going to take it out and return it, and this is pretty positive yardage. Looks like they're going to get about to the 15-yard line, John.
Not bad.
There's still a little bit of fight in them. Let's see after this offensive series if that continues.
Yeah, Daniel Sprain and number 73 is Alec Iklasoy. Those are your defensive tackles. Looks like number 50, Aaron Conde, is on one end, and I believe Philip Castillo is the other end. Almost got it out to the 20. Alejandro Vega doing a great job of shooting down the line and pulling that quarterback down, but they do get positive yardage, gain of 3.
The offense has had a couple positive plays down. 2:23 left to play here in the half. Blair's talking about it in the huddle. If I were Blair, I would make it priority number 1 to not let them get to 50 by halftime. Anything they can take off the clock. There's a pitch into the backfield. Trying to turn the corner and almost did. Gang tackled there. The clock continues to run now, 1:45.
Looked like Darian Huff was at the bottom of that pile. But Blair does gain another couple yards. It's going to be 3rd and 3.
So from the 25-yard line, 3rd down, 3 yards to go. Just over a minute left to play. Looks like the ball is loose and it's picked up by Monrovia. And that looks like we have another touchdown off the fumble recovery by the Wildcats.
That looked like number 77, but I don't understand why Isaac Maravette would have been in.
Hard to say.
He's either 77 or maybe 27.
I thought 27 myself when he was running.
Anthony Marquez.
Okay.
So the 4th fumble of the night for the Blair Vikings. 4th turnover, 3 fumbles and an interception. 2nd turnover that leads to points, and it's 55-0.
Wow.
And you just got a grimace.
You do. I got the San Marino admin on speed dial here, John. I don't know. It's tough. You don't know what to do at this point. I mean, I think as a coaching staff, clearly Maddox is not trying to run anything up, and he's.
I mean, do you tell the students, your kids, to take a knee when they pick up a fumble?
You can't do that. That's not football. You do your best to continue to play the game the way it's meant to be played, and that shows class. That the kids are not celebrating, that they're coming in, they're doing what they're doing. They're not. There's no trash talking. It's a classy effort here by both Monrovia and his coaching staff. But you know, Blair is clearly a team that's outmanned here and outcoached and at a different level. Who's kicking here, John?
It's Lucas Nacarati.
Lucas Macarati. Nacarati teeing off from the 40-yard line with 1 minute left to play. It could be 60 by halftime. Line drive kick. And Blair picks up about the 8-yard line and bounces off a few. Still on its feet. The runner's still on its feet. Brought down right around the 17-yard line. And with 53 seconds left to play, Blair will take over.
And they're running the clock.
Clock is going to run.
So Blair might get one more play, and hopefully they just take a knee.
You know, if I were coaching, I certainly at this point would take the knee. 40 seconds left to play. Blair's talking about it in the huddle. They don't seem in any hurry to prolong this at this point. 30 seconds left to play. Blair does approach the line of scrimmage. They will get a playoff here. Quarterback's under center. Takes a snap. Rolls. There's a pitch to the backfield where the runner is met and dropped for a loss.
Fortunately, they did not fumble the exchange.
And with 11 seconds ticking down, that will be the final play of the first half. And John, what can you say? 56-0 as we close the half. Dominant play by Monrovia. I can't say enough about, I guess, the classiness of the kids and the coaching staff. Clearly Blair's outmanned here, but Monrovia's got to give it the old best effort. They have respect for the game, and you got to respect it. All right, halftime is up, John, and with a 56-0 lead, what do you look for in the second half like this?
Well, you look for the clock to move as quickly as possible. You hope they don't stop it when they kick off. You hope they just put it on double time, and you just hope that we get out of here sooner rather than later, Flint, to be blunt.
I think Blair's hoping the same thing.
First half stats are pretty staggering. 2 for 3 for Deshaun Potts and 2 touchdowns, 59 yards. Touchdown pass to Mason Bryant for 14 yards. Jacob Bueno has a 45-yard touchdown. Javontre Ainsworth has 2 carries for 29 yards and a touchdown. Deshaun Potts has 3 carries for 46 yards and a touchdown, and the other 3 touchdowns were off of defensive turnovers that the Wildcats created. An interception returned for a touchdown and 2 fumbles returned for a touchdown. So it's about as bad as it could get for Blair out there. And we were talking at halftime, just giving them a tip of the cap for even coming out to line up for a little bit more of this in the second half.
Setting it up to kick off for the Wildcats, and the kick is up. Nice kick. Looks like it's taken at about the 10-yard line and advanced pretty quickly. And boy, the tackling is in trouble because that's going to go for another touchdown. And with the clock rolling completely at 11:45, good idea. Touchdown Wildcats. That's going to put us into the 60s.
That was Anthony Kraft with a 95-yard touchdown return, and he was not touched. So,
wow.
I don't know why you have Kraft returning that, but
hey, what do you do? Yeah, this is the stat line's pretty impressive. I think one of our cheerleaders rushed twice for 29 yards in that first half, and looks like the second half's going to be more of the same, just hopefully a little less time to get it done. Clock continues to run with 11:10 to play. Extra point.
And the clock will run.
Snaps up, kicks up, almost blocked, but it did get through.
Nakarati with the kick.
And that brings the score to 63-0.
And the clock is not stopping for anything. Clock will roll. We're at 10:50 and going, and
act of kindness.
We'll be getting home early tonight. And it just, we've talked about it at halftime. Week in and week out, you just got to tip your cap to this Blair Viking team. They know they're going to just get walloped week in and week out, and yet these 30 kids come out and continue to fight and continue to play. So
definitely is part of it. And with 10:18 in the clock running, Monrovia kicking off from the 40-yard line.
Taking as long as they need to. Just take a long time. Finally, the whistle. They got another 25 seconds they can take off the clock.
That's everybody's working together now, John. And there's the kick. Fielded by Blair in their end zone. They're bringing it out. Nice return. Looks like it got up to the 20-yard line. Still on their feet, fighting for yardage. Looks like bat up to the 25-yard line, that return.
Well, something positive for the Vikings. We were talking at halftime, the difficult thing about this game is that it's the week before, the league tilt with San Marino. You got to be a little bit concerned that the sword is not being sharpened on the stone for this one when you got a hungry foe coming
butter
in
today, not a stone for sure.
Got a hungry foe coming in.
Blair with another pitch to the side and met in the backfield and dropped there. 9 minutes to play. That'll bring up second and about 13.
See if I can get our defensive starting lineup.
14.
In the across the front line, you'll have Alejandro Vega. Number 73, Alec Iklasoy. Number 50 is Aaron Conde. we'll get the rest of the.
Clock at 8:31 as Blair again takes a snap. The handoff met in the backfield and dropped for a loss. Going to bring up third down and long.
Alejandro Vega doing a good job of blowing that play up. Your linebackers are Logan Craig. Oh, Daniel Sprain is the other lineman. So Sprain, Vega, Ryan Chang, and Iklasoy. You have linebackers are going to be Logan Craig. And the outside, the cornerbacks are Alex Duran and Craig Gillespie, and your safeties are Anthony Marquez and Darian Huff, freshman and a sophomore, in getting some playing time.
And a little sweep to the side, and it's met again in the backfield and dropped. Going to bring up fourth down and pretty long. Clock now at 7:25 here in the third quarter.
Darian Huff back to, that was the third touchdown. Now, it was one return for a fumble, one interception return, and one punt return for a touchdown. So.
And Blair kicking off, another left-footed little squib kick. Hits it about the 40, picked up at the 45.
Touchdown.
And Huff turned it.
No, it's Craig Gillespie.
Craig Gillespie, and you're right, John. He's going to run it for a touchdown. And that's another touchdown for Monrovia. Going to bring it to 69-0 with a pending extra point.
I definitely am on the phone right now.
Called that touchdown as he picked up the punt on the 45-yard line. I guess part of it was because 5 of the Bear players seemed to be walking to the sideline at the time.
You could just tell he was going to get rolled to his left and had nothing but green in front of him. All right. The call is going out to the San Marino administration and football staff.
Start with this guy here with the T-shirt. Apologize.
Yeah, he says he's just here as a fan.
Yep.
I don't know what you could learn from watching this game, though.
70-0 Monrovia. Despite John's promises that Monrovia would not run it up like San Marino did at 80-0. Looks as if Monrovia's on pace for triple figures here. I don't see how they can avoid it.
Well, thankfully, we're under 5.5 minutes to go in the
clock
quarter.
is just running. We got 5 minutes, 20 seconds here as Monrovia's going to tee it off and punt this one away. Kick off this one away. There's the whistle. The kick is up. It's deep. It's in the end zone. Blair's going to take it back from there. 5, 10, 15, up to the 20. They
almost
did hold
squirted
on to the
through
ball.
there.
All did hold on to the ball. Yeah, it's a nice little lane there, but Monrovia filled their gaps appropriately. And now the clock at 4:40.
So now Lucas Johnston getting in the secondary. Jordan Nathan going to be getting into the secondary, so they're really digging deep. Number 17 is Jake Ayala. He's getting in at corner, so now the third string is in. Number 74 is Gage Busante, who's healthy. That's good to see. He was a center who had a stress fracture in his foot and is getting some playing time.
4:17 as Blair takes a snap. We got a little squib to the left and a running play met in the backfield and dropped for a loss. The familiar theme for tonight.
Number 33 checking in. That's Daniel Sprain. .346 left to play here in the third quarter. Second and about 11 is the spot. Quarterback takes a snap. He's rolling out.
Going to the right, trying to turn the corner. He's met there, may have picked up a yard.
Tackled by number 14, Lucas Johnston, not letting the quarterback get the edge. So 3rd and 8 with 3 minutes and counting. Hopefully this will run another 2 minutes off the clock before Monrovia gets the ball back.
2:50 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Quarterback takes a snap. Little move out of the backfield, still on his feet. Still on his feet, scored it sideways, didn't get a lot of yards there, and finally brought down.
It's going to bring up 4th down, but Blair's still fighting. That quarterback trying to desperately to get out on the edge.
Well, they're fighting to take time off the clock right now. I mean, the time between the running plays, a running play, the longer they can stay on their feet during the running play. You get the feeling maybe Blair's offense is built around milking the clock. They're trying to keep the score somewhere under 150. This is, they're not really going for it. And the kick is up. Nice little punt by the lefty. Looks like it's going to bounce out of bounds right about midfield, where Monrovia will take over with 1 minute and 40 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Although that clock is running, folks. By the time we get a playoff, we may be in the 4th.
Can only hope. See if we can tell you who's going to be out there. Deshaun Potts still staying in at quarterback. Looks like Anthony Marquez will be coming in at tailback. We'll also see Fernando Rosas. Nope, looks like Potts is done for the night.
Yep.
Iclasoy is out there. Alejandro Vega's out there, number 53.
Less than a minute to play here in the 3rd quarter.
Not sure who 53 is, not on the roster.
Quarterback gets a pitch, and that running back looks like he's got some room. He's heading down the sideline. There's a chance, John. He's going to score a touchdown, and he will. Number 47 with the touchdown. The first play from scrimmage on that drive.
Fernando Rosas with the 5th one-play drive for touchdown of the night. And the score is 76-0.
At the end of the 3rd quarter, with the extra point, still on pace to break 100. Although with the clock running, it's going to be difficult. Oh, I don't know.
So Nakarati knocks that one through, and he does get.
That is 77-0.
Does get good height on that kick where Bryant was kicking low. Nakarati is getting his up in the air. 4th quarter is upon us. No need to put your, I guess you still do. Put your fingers up. Put those 4 fingers up, ladies and gentlemen. It's the 4th quarter.
Wow. Well,
it just begs the question, what do you do to avoid this?
yeah.
But CIF has got to do something now. I mean, this is just.
I don't know. The Big 12's not doing anything about the debacle that happened with the Red River rivalry last week. Felt eerily similar.
I'm going to take away my love for your Cougars against Notre Dame now. Bringing that up on the air. How dare you?
I couldn't help it. I saw the 77 and thought, hey, wait a minute. Just come close to that one.
Well, Mac Brown's competitive. He's not going anywhere.
And that's not going to be repeated next year, John. Not with your
It's a nice one
Nice,
hopper.
Nice one hopper. The Blair's still fighting about the 20-yard line. He's brought down, and the clock runs at 11:50 now. 77-0 is where Blair will take over there at the 20-yard line. Nice 15-yard return there. And Blair's made some progress from the first quarter to the fourth. You can see just a little bit extra effort, a little more burst in their step. Clock now is at 11:18. And looks like another running play for a loss, John.
No, I think he got back to the line of scrimmage. That's that big fullback, number 65. Quarterback fakes the pitch and then hands to the belly. And that number 65 is a big load, so he squirreled his way back to the line of scrimmage.
Ten minutes, 43 seconds left to play. Blair quarterback scrambles out, and he will be sacked for about an 8-yard loss.
Icklasoy was there along with, looked like number 28, Philip Castillo. So Castillo and Icklasoy get the stack. Loss of 7 yards on that play.
Alejandro Vega back there as well.
I think the way that was drawn up in the pile of rubber pellets is meat at the quarterback.
Under 10 minutes now to play in this game, folks. And third and very long. Quarterback with a keeper.
No, it's a pitch.
Oh, it was a pitch. Back close to the line of scrimmage, and then now.
Gain of 8.
Yeah.
Back to the original line. Running back doing a good job of planting his foot and cutting up field.
That's going to, with 9:30 to go, bring up fourth and about 9.
And hopefully the Blair punter punts away from Darian Huff.
Out of bounds might be a good idea at this time, John.
Something, anything.
I wouldn't put it in play at all. It's just, I mean, if it's in play, you just put 7 on the board. And he does kick it. It looks like it's going to go out of bounds. Nope. He's going to let that one roll, and it's going to be stopped at about the 52-yard line when Monrovia
And
will
tip
take
of the
over.
cap to Darian Huff. Darian could have easily have picked that up, and the result probably would have been a touchdown. And so Darian Huff being very classy there.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Again, testament to the class and good kids here in this community. He had 7 if he wanted it.
He could have picked it up and run.
And now with 8:34 to play and the clock still running, 77-0 being the score, the Wildcats take back over in their own territory at the 52-yard line.
Christian Walton getting some playing time on the line. Marquez with the carry.
Anthony Marquez still on his feet, battling for yardage. Anthony Marquez is not going to go down until the 20-yard line. I think Anthony wanted that one.
Nifty bit of running.
Nice run by Marquez. First and 10 from the 20. Clock continues to run at 7:50. John, if the Wildcats punch this one in, they will have eclipsed San Marino's score.
I think San Marino was 84-0 as well. So
there's a pitch.
Rosas.
Number 47, Rosas, and he's going to get in. Touchdown, Monrovia. It's going to be 83 and pending an extra point. I have a number 47 on my roster. Who's that?
Fernando Rosas.
Fernando Rosas. Nice run by him. And the clock continues to run gracefully with 6:50. Nakarate with the extra point. It's up. It's good.
Well, while we have a timeout and a stop and play, we want to point out this fantastic crew that's giving us our pictures and video. They're doing a great job. Our replay, it's Tom Reale's ROP class. They do a bang-up job every week, week in and week out. A lot of road games this year, and they have done an excellent job. Tonight's broadcast was directed by Jalen Mason. Cameron Sparks, the ever-ready bunny, Cameron Sparks. He does a great job on the replay. He's the replay director. Lead camera is Mark Nelson.
Mark Nelson doing a good job right here with us, John.
Aaron Conde had the second half of the lead camera. Sideline cameras are Jacob Orozco, Zach
That's your sweatshirt now for sure. All right.
Sorry, folks. Jacob Rosca, Zach Larles, Nathan Completo, Jameson Hogg is helping out on the sideline. The technical support, Kelsey Kilberry, a quality graduate from the ROP program, works frequently on the.
That kicked right out of bounds.
Works frequently on Saturdays. Jan Tagey and Andre Elferink. So hats off to the quality work that week in and week out the ROP gives us in terms of pictures and video. Doing a great job.
Yeah, Scott Card taking the weekend off this week for the Thursday night game. Usually part of that great team as well. 4:59 to play. For some reason that clock is stopped, John. Do you have any idea why that would happen?
No.
What kind of punishment they're trying to do? Are they calling timeout to fix something? Somebody called timeout in an 84-0 game with the clock winding down. I hope that was. And so 84-0 with 4:59 left. Begs the question, Tom.
See you next week.
Begs the question, is triple digits obtainable?
Yes, but no. Yes.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning
As
more
long as they
towards
don't
the
fumble
yes.
it.
Clock has stopped, and officials are talking to the players.
Okay, folks, please come out and support your Wildcats. Next weekend, it's for all the marbles against San Marino. October 26th, weekend after its homecoming against Temple City, November 2nd. The dance is November 3rd. Come out and support your Wildcats. They're home for the last two games.
Yeah, Battle of Undefeated, San Marino and Monrovia. That's the big one next weekend. See you all there. We need to pack the house and bring the noise. 4:59, that clock needs to start, guys. And first and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Quarterback's going to keep it. He's going to fight forward. Looks like he got maybe a yard, John.
Maybe 3.
Got
The
a
good
yard.
news is he did not fumble.
The clock continues to roll now. 4 minutes and 40 seconds left to play in this game. Hopefully it will continue to roll. There will not be any more timeouts.
Yeah, he gained 2 on that. That's going to bring up 2nd and 8. Well, the good news tonight is no penalties for either team.
No. Great
Very
news.
clean game.
I agree, though. Not a great game to prepare you for San Marino. Not a great game at all. Quarterback's under center for Blair. He takes his time. Finally takes a snap. A little bit of jumble confusion in the backfield, but we've seen that all night. And drop for probably about a 5 to 7 yard loss there.
The clock is ticking at 3:45 and moving. 3rd and 15. Hope you're enjoying the sound of silence, folks. We're stunned. We don't know what to say.
Well, you just want to be careful, I think, at this point, what we say. Boy, and that looks like a little positive yardage there as the ball scoots forward. Going to bring up 4th down, though. And
Got
now
back next near to the original line of scrimmage.
Clock's kicking under 3 minutes.
Victory formation.
I would hope so. Blair will be forced to punt here. They're going to let as much tick off the clock as possible.
That must have been 4th down. We missed something. No, he did fumble.
He fumbled.
It was a fumble.
It was a fumble. That's what we were hoping didn't happen.
Can we just
victory
take a knee,
formation, I think we
please?
can do this. No, there's a pitch. You want to go ahead and little carry up to the 12-yard line for Monrovia. But it looks like couldn't see who the ball carrier was there.
It's Anthony Marquez.
2 minutes to play now, ticking under 2 minutes. Second and 4. Monrovia is taking their time. Kneel down here would get us out of the game. I don't think they need to.
No, they're not lining up in victory formation.
No, they're not. They're still going to go for this.
There you go.
And there we go. Classy move there by Coach.
Thank you.
Taking the knee with 1:20 to play.
Thank you, Coach Maddox.
Which will finish the game at 84-0 is the final score. Similar score, I guess, to what
San Marino put
San
on
Marino
Blair.
had.
Well, it was early and often. It was a Monrovia beatdown. There's nothing else you can describe it as, but
About as classy a beat down as you're going to see, though. I think that the Monrovia's coaching staff and kids took what was going to be a difficult situation and probably watched film and knew what they were up against here and did what they had to do to get in, get out, keep everybody fresh, and really building for the big game next week, John.
well, that's the hope. That's the hope.
And the clock continues to kick down, and it'll be over here in just a few seconds, folks. Thanks again for joining us. This game was something else a little different. But remember, 2 undefeated teams, and next week, and they're going for the championship. Please be a part of it. Come out, bring the noise, support the Wildcats. Going for league champs.